Okay. Let's go. Fuck you, faggot.
Whoa! Hold up.
That's what was yelled at me last week in my front yard.
Oh,
Okay, I'm really glad it didn't stick because, you see, I'm a neurodiverse introvert with grammar OCD and a tendency to develop really strong earworms. An earworm, if you don't know, is something that kind of repeats in your brain, like if it's a catchy jingle or a song. For me, it can be any kind of a word or a phrase, so I'm glad fucking faggot isn't like reverberating in my head. But it's important to know that I live in a nice neighborhood in a liberal part of the world, and I was really shocked by the verbal assault in my front yard. I do have a rainbow flag, so I guess I was asking for it. But I was about 100 feet away from the road, and I was really surprised because my Irish blood got up to a boil instantly, like it does. And within about 30 seconds, I noticed I was very calm and ready to let it go. And I'm thinking about why that was. For a few different reasons. Well, one is I've been working for the last year to exercise my I don't give a fuck muscle, and it's getting a lot stronger. Another reason was that this asshole that drove by, I've been fighting this ignorance since a lot longer than he's been alive, so it was really easy for me to try to let it go. Now the difference was a year ago, the same thing happened to my husband when he was in the front yard, and I didn't let it go. I let really stayed in here for a long time. Now the difference is my husband.
That was him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know you're not talking to me back there, so I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm trying to do a show up here. So when at the end of my set, when I say thank you for listening, I'm talking to those who are listening. My husband is a dark brown man. He was dressed as a landscaper in the middle of my yard, and I don't know if I'm just as upset that the asshole didn't assume he was my gardener. I can afford a gardener. So, being a neurodiverse introvert with grammar OCD, which by the way is a very real disorder that I invented, and a tendency to develop earworms, as well as a few other anxieties and disorders. Little things that don't bother other people tend to bother me a lot. I mean, the smallest thing that somebody else might just let pass by bothers me a lot. This morning I got an email, for instance, from my boss's boss's boss. I never get email from my boss's boss's boss, so it was important. And I read through, it was a long email, and the last two words were, "You're fired." I'm still a little shaky about it. It's been a long day. But she wrote "YOUR fired," and I can't believe an educated person wrote the wrong door. So it's very upsetting.
Doesn't count then.
it doesn't count.
That's true. I've been overthinking about my greatest character flaw, which is obviously humility. Because I really try to be humble, but I surround myself with ordinary humans, and it just reminds me of how fucking awesome I am. And by fucking awesome, I don't mean I'm great all of the time, because if I were great all of the time, I would be full of awe. That's awful. I have just enough to be awesome. Thank you for listening and laughing.
We're gonna keep it going. Bro, are you a doctor? Because you write like one. Holy shit, give it up for Louis Vasquez.